Good morning, world. It's your girl, Mawnin World, and I have so much to say. I have so much to say today, and it's not coffee fueled. It's a good thing. First, check out my outfit. Thrifted at. Okay, hold on. The top is fire. See how it has the little frill at the bottom? For shape. I love the color. Look at the sleeves. So fire. I thrifted it for maybe $3. I don't know. The earrings. I got the earrings in Greece. It was Greece or Sicily. I think the answer is Greece. I think. What else? The pants, I got on gray slacks with no pockets. Why don't they have no pockets, Lord? I don't know. But I got them. They're Calvin Klein. I got them at the thrift. Maybe $5. I don't know. But the problem is they don't have no pockets. Let me set up my mic. Okay. And, all right, mic is on. The mic is hot. All right. So, let's talk about the weekend coming. So this weekend, if you want to, I don't know, if you just have time on Saturday and you want to volunteer and have a good time, remember on Saturday, on Valentine's Day, when I went to the senior center for the Valentine's Day dance? Well, this weekend is the senior center senior citizen prom, which is going to be so fun. Yes, you can dress up, but we are accepting all volunteers. You don't have to stay all day. I'm gonna start at like 5:30. The event starts at 6. We'll begin serving food at 6. Then you just stay, you eat, you drink, you party, you get wisdom, and you watch them do all the line dances to every song. It's gonna be so much fun. And if you like to dress up, you should totally be there. It's an excuse to dress up. I like to serve, and I like the wisdom that's in the room, honestly. This is me. And of course I like to dress up, but I'm gonna dress up if I'm going to the bank. So it don't really matter to me. So, but yes, everyone is invited. If you want to reach out, you can call the Dresden Senior Center, or you can just text me, whatever. Hit me up on here. And yeah, let's serve that night. We're gonna serve, we're gonna dance, we're gonna eat cake. Let them eat cake. It's gonna be great. That's that. What else? Tonight at UT Martin, Abby Phillip, the CNN anchor, will be there. So I'm going to be there, and I look forward to it. I currently don't know anything about her. I look forward to hearing her story. You know, I'm going to look for God in the details, and hopefully we get a selfie together. And yeah, I'm excited about that. So tonight at 6 o'clock in the UTM Bowling University Center, will be she'll be speaking, and it will be free. So just come if you like that kind of thing. Yesterday for me was long. I spent the entirety of my day at church, but because of where I was at emotionally all week, I needed to spend the entirety of my day at church yesterday. I didn't know I needed it. I just was like, oh, of course, I'm going to church. Like, won't play like that. I'm going to church. But then after church, it was like, oh, my small group is today. So I had to stay for that. And then after the small group, I was like, all right, I'm going to go thrifting. And I spoke to my girlies, and they're like, yeah, prayer starts but in like an hour and a half. I'm like, all right, probably going to thrift for an hour. So might as well go pray after that. So I ended up at prayer. Then after prayer, I went straight into OYA. And I was at OYA all night. They told me I could leave, but last night was good. Let me tell y'all, Emily preached last night. Emily smacked me from the moment she got up there and started talking about Lilo and Stitch. I felt the tears coming from the moment she started. I was like, oh boy. We had a guest speaker as a pastor yesterday for church. Tore me up. Not for the reasons, not for typical. I'm just not a typical person. I know that. So the certain things that stand out to me, I'm just like, dang, that hit me hard. You ain't have to hit me like that, Pastor, but he did. And I'm so glad he did, because I needed to hear what I heard. So yeah, yesterday was very long. And I've had so many revelations over the weekend, and I'm very grateful. I feel refreshed. I feel better and lighter. And yeah, I feel like I could go on. I could go on and fight another day. So that's what's going on today. I mean, that's what happened yesterday. Saturday, it was fun. Saturday, I went to Donna's bridal shower. So much fun. It was so cute. I just love. And then after the bridal shower, I went out with my girlfriends. We went to a smash room. And then we did like glow-in-the-dark paint that you throw. And we threw it around. And then we went and got such good food. But we were so full off the appetizers that I'm going to eat that food today for lunch. Yeah. So, yeah. That's everything I got. That's everything I'm willing to share on today. But my real friends, if they want real backstories, they can call me. Okay. It's time to lay the snooze down. Shall we begin? Oh, let's begin. Firefighters responded to a late-night house fire Saturday on Spence Chapel Road in Graves County, where a fire spread into a home. What's the matter? Somebody's playing with the board. There we go. Okay, now somebody was playing with the board. Okay. Clear Springs Fire Chief Dan Upton said flames had already spread into the home by the time firefighters arrived. Much of the structure was compromised before crews brought the fire under control. 16 firefighters responded with help from the Graves County Rescue Squad. Cause remains under investigation. Firefighters encouraged students... You just making up words now, huh? Firefighters encourage residents not to overload outlets, keep an eye on heaters, and make sure smoke detectors are working to help prevent residential fires. All right. Jackson police are investigating a suspected homicide after a body was discovered in a small... Come on. Okay. Jackson police are investigating a suspected homicide after a body was discovered in a crawl space beneath a home in North Jackson. Police officers have been directly investigating the disappearance of 31-year-old Myrna Ortez Moncada, who was reported missing last Monday. Jackson's Special Victims Unit were assigned to the case. The investigation is ongoing. Union City Council members recently approved a project for the industrial park. City Manager Johnny McTurner explained the scope of the work and the lowest bid of 9 submitted. My nose probably suffering from all that crying yesterday. Because why? Like, it is a little tight. It is a little tight. That's why I slept so well. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That's why I slept so well.
Being done in an industrial park is it's a 100,000 square foot pad. It's going to be leveled off, gravelled. The road from there's a bridge out there that kind of goes to a field. So that on the opposite side of that bridge, we're going to widen the road, re-gravel it, level a pad, and start a spec building in the hopes that some business will buy it and move in it. And so when the spec building is actually built, it's just going to be a shell, just to be a metal hull, with electricity, just enough electricity just to run lights and things like that. Once a company actually purchases the building, they'll finish out the inside, pour the concrete, pull in more electricity, water, sewer, anything they need. So the low bid on this work that was bid out was $704,750. Harold Coffee Construction out of Hickman, Kentucky was the lowest bidder.
And this is all a grant.
So it's a site development grant we've been working on for a couple of years, mixed with a vest prep grant through TVA.
So it's no cost to the city.
No cost to the city at all.
Following the presentation, council members voted unanimously to accept the bid from Harold Coffee Construction. McTurner said the project has a completion date for the end of August. At Martin's Finance Board meeting last week, Martin Mayor David Belote announced that after 12 years of service, City Recorder Kelly Wilson has put in her resignation. Mayor Belote had this to say.
She's going to resign her post with the city. She let us know that today, and she'll be with us. Her last day of active service will be Friday, March the 27th. And, of course, those things are always bittersweet. And obviously appreciate her work for the city, and then wish her the best as she moves on to new things.
He says the position is lucrative to city procedures and needs to be filled quickly.
Implement a city recorder selection process as soon as we can. I met with the city attorney this morning and sought some advice, and I know we're moving into some potentially new eras in managing our affairs in Martin. The city recorder responsibilities has not changed. And I'm here to tell you right now, we not only need a city recorder, we need one that has the credentials to be a city recorder. We'd like to implement the selection process as soon as we can and get that out there, because in either scenario, we've got to have a city recorder. I'm here to tell you right now, it is a valued position.
The pay rate begins at around $74,000 annually and requires CMFO certifications. Ms. Wilson's last day is set for Friday, March 27th. My friend Kelly. I love Kelly. She's fabulous. I was sitting in the meeting like, what? Kelly. I was like, where are you going? And why didn't I know your last name was Wilson? Oh, boy. Oopsie, oopsie. Tichenor. There's one. I'm just loading up these sounds. They only give you 4 spaces, so your girl gotta go back and forth. Okay. You shouldn't have did that. There you go. Okay. Okay. Woo. That's because I like my angle how I like it. Okay. The ballot for the May 5th primary election is currently being assembled. Weakley County's Administrator of Elections, Alex Britt, tells Thunderbolt News more.
The ballot for the May primary right now. So all of those candidates that are qualified, we're putting those on the ballot. Next week on Thursday is the withdrawal deadline. So everybody that's qualified, they still have a chance to say, oh, never mind, I don't want to do this. So after that withdrawal deadline next Thursday, we should have a final ballot where we can go through and do our approval process. And then probably the week after that, we'll be releasing the sample ballot for voters to go ahead and start examining, prepare to vote in that May primary.
Mr. Britt tells us what's coming up next for voters and candidates.
We're also already in the process of accepting applications for by mail ballot for that May primary. So if there's anybody, if you're 60 years or older, you're automatically qualified to receive a ballot through the mail. But if you have some other situation that either has you outside of the county on election day and during the early voting period time, that's good for our students that are in other areas of the state or other areas of the country that can vote by mail. So we're accepting applications for by mail ballot right now.
He says this is just the start for the team at the Weakley County Election Commission.
Recruiting and contacting our election officials and getting them set up to work the election. So we're not just done. We're now in that election prep mode, getting ready for the early voting period and for election day on May 5th.
Okay, let me just delete this one.
He says this is just...
You could hear it when the teeth drag.
He says this is...
Okay. Okay. A bill in Kentucky has moved to eliminate the use of two forms of identification for voting. I hesitated. A bill in Kentucky has moved to eliminate the use of two forms of identification for voting. Senate Bill 154 would eliminate the use of a Social Security card and SNAP card when filling out a voter affirmation form. The cards were targeted due to neither having a photo identification. During floor debate, Senator Lindsey Tichenor expressed her full support for the measure.
Happens. It absolutely happens. Identity theft happens. So voter fraud absolutely can happen and does happen. It can happen with EBT and SNAP, and it can happen with Social Security cards.
The debate did draw some opposition, including Senator Casey Chambers Armstrong.
Kentucky, it's really hard to get a driver's license, and you shouldn't give up your ability to participate in civic democracy for that reason.
Senate Bill 154 passed and now heads to the full House for consideration. Okay. The increasing threat of artificial intelligence continues to raise concerns with country music songwriters. Due to the emergence of AI, songwriters are citing threats to their livelihoods, the erosion of authentic human emotion in music, and unauthorized voice cloning. Obion County's Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Philip Coleman, who has penned hits for artists like Ronnie Dunn of Brooks and Dunn and Miranda Lambert, recently experienced the use of AI with his work.
Back in the summer, I called the girls that I'd hired to run with my songs, and I said, I want to come play y'all some new songs, just guitar, because I don't want to spend money on demoing these if y'all don't think you can run with them, because it's expensive to get in the studio and do all that. And I played them this one song. It's like nothing I'd ever written. It was very up-tempo, pop, little bubblegum girl song, and they said, well, we need that now. They're looking now. So I just wrote this a week or so ago. I don't have it on the computer. I don't have it down or nothing. It's in my head. And that's when they brought up AI. And I was like, well, and they're like, look, we can have this recorded by AI. You wrote it, but we can send, all you need is send us the song and type in the lyric, and it'll spit out this song. And I did that, and about 2 hours later, that song came back, and I I was amazed at how good it sounded, but I was also scared. I was like, this is scary. This is going to put musicians and studios out of business.
Coleman said the cost and overall rapid AI process will probably lead to the loss of jobs in the music industry.
I couldn't get over how good it sounded and how real it sounded and how strong the vocals were on it, but it didn't cost me a dime. But I was scared. I was just like, this is unbelievable what I'm hearing here. To me, it's scary. It really is. It's going to take over. What are you going to do if someone came to you and said, "Oh, hey, you can do this for it's going to cost you $2,000, but this is going to cost you about $50"? What are you going to do? I'm going to go with the $50 thing because it's saving me money. And that, like I said, I gave that to the girls that I hired, and they fed it into the computer, and that song popped out a couple hours later, and they were excited to go run with it, and I was excited for them to go running with it too, because it's like nothing I've ever written, but it sounds like a hit to me. For little 16, 17-year-old girls will love that song, I think.
The Nashville Songwriters Association International is pushing what they call the 4 Ps regulation, which includes permission, proof, payment, and penalties regarding how AI companies train on existing songs. Okay. Last one. The first 2 spring preview days for the spring semester will be held Saturday, February 28th at UT Martin. Preview days enable potential students and their families to learn more about the university by getting information about academic programs, financial aid, scholarships, housing, and student life. The second spring preview day for the semester will be held Saturday, April 25th. The day begins at 10 at the Bowling University Center with a registration period, brunch, and information fair. Participants will visit the academic department of their interest. Participants will visit the academic department of their interest at noon, and a breakout session featuring housing tours, campus tours, and more will take place from 1 to 3. Right there. Perfect. Okay. And we're good on that. Now I'm going to cut and paste and move and groove, you dig? So, yeah, I think I'll do this part alone. I'd like some time to sing to myself all alone. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Try something new. And make sure you put on color today, brighten up your own world. Make sure you put on some color, okay? I popped some yellow in that crease. So, ooh, yeah, that pink and that yellow for me are just chef's kiss, baby. I will see y'all later. Have a great day.